So it seems that when lawmakers and courts abide by the rules, Republicans call that cheating, because so far they have provided false allegations of voter fraud without any evidence to back up those claims, and the courts have struck them down. And then they get mad when the media reports that. Here is the president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, giving his opening statement about the movie My Cousin Vinny while profusely sweating out his hair dye, while also providing no evidence of any fraud. Take a look at this.
Did you all watch My Cousin Vinny? You know the movie? It's one of my favorite law movies because he comes from Brooklyn. And when the nice lady who said she saw, and then he says to her, how many fingers do I got up? And she says, 3. Well, she was too far away to see it was only 2. These people were further away than my cousin Vinny was from the witness. They couldn't see a thing. Now, I don't know. You're going to tell me that 60 Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona, we more than double.
Just a reminder that this is the head attorney for the president. But onto a more serious note, he goes on to once again discredit the media, complaining that they haven't accurately covered this post-election Republican scam, because that's what this is, a scam and a sham. But they actually have been covering it the whole time, exposing that you guys are in the wrong and have failed to show any proof. But here's the quote-unquote lawyer compensating for his lack of evidence by attacking the media and, of course, the left.
We have 100 more of these. I can't show them to you because those people don't want to be harassed. They don't want to have their lives torn apart by the goons on the other side. We don't do that to them. They've done that to a lot of our people. They've done it for 4 years. And it's outrageous that it's tolerated, and it's tolerated because you condone it in the press, and you don't cover it, and you don't condemn it. And it shouldn't happen to a Republican or a Democrat. A lawyer shouldn't have to withdraw from a case because he's representing the President of the United States.
What, so these are anonymous affidavits who are alleging voter fraud without revealing their identities. In other words, this could have been Rudy Giuliani writing all 255 of them, or it could have been the GOP paying more fake whistleblowers to testify, just like they paid the postal worker Richard Hopkins, whom later went on to recant his statements. And by the way, it was your people who baselessly called Dr. Anthony Fauci a liar to the point where he did receive death threats, and still does today, and was forced to hire a security detail around him to protect himself and his family. And it was your goons who threatened to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer simply because she wanted to keep her state safe by ordering lockdowns. And the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and his wife are receiving death threats because you, Trump, and the GOP have falsely accused him of dumping ballots, cheating, and swaying the state over to Joe Biden, which is not only false, he is also a Republican. So your argument doesn't make any sense, both politically and legally. Which brings me to Twitter, where they have been forced to mark every single one of Donald Trump and his administration's tweets with an exclamation point saying that this is a claim that has been disputed, essentially giving us a link to a site with the facts, which is something that we never get from the GOP anymore, as every single Republican who is still siding with Donald Trump is breaking their oath to the Constitution and is proving that they care about party over country and are willing to cheat, steal, and destroy democracy in order to remain in power. And with that, here is Ted Cruz whining to Jack Dorsey, demanding that he stop flagging false tweets as misinformation, even though they are misinformation. Take a listen.
Are you an expert in voter fraud?
No, I'm not.
Well, why then is Twitter right now putting purported warnings on virtually any statement about voter fraud?
We're simply linking to a broader conversation so that people have more information.
No, you're not. You put up a page that says, quote, voter fraud of any kind is exceedingly rare in the United States. That's not linking to a broader conversation. That's taking a disputed policy position. And you're a publisher when you're doing that. You're entitled to take a policy position, but you don't get to pretend you're not a publisher and get a special benefit under Section 230 as a result.
That link is pointing to a broader conversation with tweets from publishers and people all around the country.
Mr. Dorsey, would the following statement violate Twitter's policies? Quote, absentee ballots remain the largest source of potential voter fraud.
I imagine that we would label it so that people can have more context and read through.
How about this quote?
I'm sorry, Ted, you can't get mad at the facts. When the president tweets conspiracy theories like this, it's important that they get marked and flagged as disputed claims, or else his 90 million followers will not know the difference. I think Twitter should ban Donald Trump for these dangerous lies and statements, but really it's too late for all of it because now we have about 70 million Americans, including most of the Republicans in the Senate, Congress, and the House, who are pushing the false narrative that this election was rigged. Whether they believe it or not is irrelevant, or if they're just saying it to try to regain power, either way the result is the same. Confidence in our elections, from a Republican point of view, has been destroyed. And in fact, I think this is exactly what the GOP wants, so that they can begin to attack and undermine Biden's presidency for the next 4 years, so that by the time 2024 comes around and there is a new presidential election, they will use and continue to run on the misinformation campaign that the Democrats stole the election, and it will only rile up the base even more. So I'm really not looking forward to what is going to happen next. One thing I know for sure is that the Democrats are in the right here, both morally and legally. Joe Biden is our president-elect, and he will become the president of the United States come January 20th. I will continue to expose the Republican lies and defend our Constitution and our President Joe Biden. So guys, make sure you subscribe for daily videos, and I will continue to uncover the truth.